This film presents 12 songs from the dance opera. The songs are interleaved with interviews with some of the artists involved. And the recording of the songs took place on June the 10th, 2007, at the Loft Recording Studio, Crouch End, in London. The message of the piece, put simply, is that we can make choices. We do not need to condemn ourselves to always live in the netherworld, as did Ereshkigal. Inanna breaks the law of exchanging lives, upper for lower, and creates the law of sharing lives, upper and lower. She does this after her own return to life, having died in the netherworld. She revives and recognises her own power in touching the darkness. She finds the equilibrium to offer solutions with hope, not fear as a result.
I'm Alex Ingram, and I've been involved in Inanna as the conductor. And I'm an opera conductor. I also conduct a bit of ballet. And I suppose I've grown up absolutely through the classical opera process.
The demand made by Ereshkigal to send a replacement to the netherworld is met by Inanna with her demand that the sentence be shared between the brother and sister, Dumuzi and Gestinana, and thus no one is made to suffer alone forever.
The farmer will plant his seed.
In due course, I know he will.
And leave you.
No, no, no.
Returning at your ripening to plough and drill and harrow you.
No, no, not so.
The farmer will reap his crop.
In due course, I think he will.
And rob you.
No, no, no.
Returning at your harvesting to cut and bind and thrash you.
No, no, not so.
To bend you to his will. If you stumble, I will hold you.
You would hold me.
If you falter, I will guide you.
You would guide me.
If you
is Maria Jarladottir, and my musical background is more from sort of an improvised music source blended with world music and jazz. I'm trained within jazz.
My name's Mari Angel. I've been trained as an opera singer. I was part of a group called Opera Factory in the 80s.
I've worked in several companies, Welsh National Opera, English National Opera, a lot, about 15 years with ENO.
We did quite a lot of experimental work, and I've had quite a few things written to me by different composers.
The story was originally written on stone tablets that were discovered in the Iraqi desert in the 1920s, I think it was, taken back to a museum, I believe it was in America, translated by a scholar called Samuel Noah Kramer, and with the help of Diane Volkstein, who brought in a kind of imaginative narrative storytelling component. And this book became an absolute cult book for women and men interested in the journey of the woman into the unconscious, because Inanna goes down into the symbolic world of the unconscious in the netherworld.
The judgment is death.
It would be amazing to have it performed in Iraq, particularly because it's a story for women and women's individuality. Sumer was an earthbound feminine culture, and Inanna was the political and spiritual head of Uruk in the south, close to Basra. The priceless treasures from the Sumerian period, preserved for millennia, are a testimony to the depth and sophistication of this ancient civilization. Looting of the treasures of the Baghdad Museum in 2003 and sale of the artefacts on the black market in recent years is a tragic indication of the current turmoil in Iraq. The piece is really, in one way, it's an extended song cycle. But there was this other element which was more expanded structurally, harmonically, and vocal style-wise.
There's quite a mix of styles in Jenny's piece, which she manages incredibly successfully.
Singers who have got a background in high operatic art,
Approaching the world of John Adams and Steve Reich.
in the world of music theatre and musicals.
And high.
World music, especially the Middle Eastern sort of flavour of the improvised, the free voice music.
Well, there's one part which is called the free voice part. In the end, I sang it, although in fact I had booked someone else to sing it, but they pulled out at the last minute. That part, in certain sections, is just given space to reflect on the energy of the narrative.
I'd categorise it more in that minimalist type music, because minimalist doesn't mean there's not a lot going on.
It's not just a simple, naive sort of pop music feel, because she's actually also making bigger structures and using a sort of contemporary classical music technique to actually build bigger structures and sort of incorporate all those influences into a more sophisticated sort of structure. So you've got the various elements coming together in a very successful way.
I'm singing the role of Inanna. I thought it sounded really interesting, so I fancied to come along and challenge myself.
I'm playing Geshti Nana. When I came round and Jenny played it to me, I said, yep, I like this. This is where I think music's got to go now.
And when she played me in and out, she was actually very taken with it.
I was very thrilled about the different styles of vocal expressions in the piece, and I found that to give the piece a very sort of varied and multi-layered depth.
So it was performed in 1992 at the ICA.
Sister,
Brother,
I have brought you a present.
you too, my brother.
I have brought you your bridal sheet.
With whom would you have me make this sheet blush?
With the shepherd Dumuzi.
A shepherd is a nomad. A shepherd is cold. I prefer a farmer.
Choose Dumuzi.
A shepherd is poor. I prefer
take a second alone.
I prefer a farmer. Farmers make fields fertile. Farmers feed fine cities. Wool scratches my skin.
In the winter,
Farmers grow fair flax and flowers.
shepherds are part of our traditional way.
I prefer a farmer.
See him watching
Farmers are modern people.
with his sister.
What appealed to me about Jenny's score and the style of the music that she's used in it is that it's tonal music. And for me, the most interesting element in music is harmony. And Jenny has used a whole vocabulary of harmonies, which I find very directly expressive.
And even a connection back to Monteverdi, where the whole harmonic structure is more simple.
There's a sort of driving, fun rhythmic element, and there's also those luscious and fun chords. I was very pleased to find that that she'd sort of bypassed or skipped over the sort of over-cerebral, intellectual, atonal style of contemporary music and returned to a sort of natural, visceral, tonal, expressive type of music. And that's what really drew me to the piece. And I enjoyed it even, all the way through conducting it, putting across that sort of really natural, expressive element. It's not used up at all, and it never will be, those vocabulary of chords. Because you can just slap down your A major, Share My Joy, and just going around those chords and then repeating them is enough for me. I want to hear it again and again and again, going round and round and round, because of it's part of the natural, it's part of nature. Isn't it?
There's a great connection to our feelings and harmonies.
Left, and I was just carrying this power of this beautiful singer, and out came this calling melody of Share My Joy, and I just sort of decorated it really, and because it was full already, there was nothing else needed really.
I heard a version that she'd written first, which was just for string quartet and piano. We spent quite a lot of sessions, which were enormous fun, introducing some other instruments to the score. I was able to bring in my knowledge and experience as a conductor of orchestras to develop the instrumentation.